Hey everybody, it's Mauler, and I am in Rostja. It is a map that I've played a lot in the old Pharaoh and the new Pharaoh. It's kind of the map that I play the most, but it's never the same game twice. I'm going to try to keep it simple and small because I'm replaying it for the campaign. I'm not going for any kind of speed run or super efficiency here. Because I've played it a lot, you'll have to forgive me if I gloss over a few things about the map. I'll try to remember to explain what I'm doing. We have a kingdom rating requirement of 50 and a monument rating of 57. We need to build the Sphinx, a pyramid complex, a medium pyramid, and stock it with grave goods. Most of these we have to get from trade, although we can do the jewelry and the gems ourselves. The first of our two trade routes is Byblos. They will buy 1,500 gems and jewelry. They sell you wood. I usually save them till I have a surplus of goods and can afford the 1,250 demons to open them. The other trade route we can open is On. They are a source of limestone. They buy a decent amount of gems and some jewelry, and they're not that expensive. We're going to open them up as our initial trade route. Now, we're not doing a speed run, but I think it's important to get all of the 40 stone in the first year. So we're going to import the maximum, and we're going to sell gems and jewelry over 0. Now, call me weird, but one of the things that I do on every Rostja map is get the temple complex down right off the bat. It is expensive, but I think it's worth it. When you have Ta's temple complex, your gemstone mines and your jewelers work a lot faster, so you don't need many to meet demand. Ta will be happy for the rest of the game. We're going to throw him a festival right off the bat. We're banking on a blessing or two in the early game to help out our economy and defray the cost of the temple complex. This is our only dock, so we're going to set it to accept all. It's as close to the ship entrance as we can get it. Luckily for us, it lets us put the pyramid complex as close to the water as we can. We need to remove 20 of the road tiles to make it fit, and it gives us a straight shot to the monument entrance. I can also fit 3 storage yards in between the monument and the dock, which I'll use for stone, gems, and jewelry. I'll pull limestone away from the stone storage yard to keep things efficient, and I'll get gems and jewelry from the mines and the jewelers on the west side of the map. Now, we don't want anything to fall down or burn down. And I'm going to put a little road here off the temple complex architect to pick up some employment from a house that will go by the festival square. And I have a pretty good idea of the layout that I want to use. I'll be using that architect later to get some coverage for some storage yards I'm going to put down. But right now I just want a little 4x12 loop so I can put down some work camps to start clearing the monument. We also need a stonemason to handle the little section here, the causeway that goes to the river, but they don't have to be awake now. And I know from previous games of Rostja that once you open up WeNet and start bringing in 80 limestone a year, you need to offset your wages with taxes. So I like to get the village palace down, just pays itself off quicker. The palace and the temple are going to get their architect coverage from the road behind them. I'm not going to put an architect post in the housing block here because all of the support buildings in the block will only be vulnerable to fire. I'm going to supply them the basic services of water, health, and taxation. I bet you never thought of taxes as a basic service. And the festival square entrance to the block will provide a way for the immigrants to get in. I'm not going to put any housing down there until I get a feeder house here for the mining area. We need a bridge to get across. We'll set up the jewelry and mining area, which will be the economic engine of our Rostja game. We'll need storage yards down to accept the jewelry and the gems. The one closest to the mines will accept the gems. The other one will accept jewelry, and the dock storage yards will come and get it. The most gemstone mines I've ever been able to squeeze in here is 8. If you can figure out a way to do 9, please tell me. I am going to change up the roads a little bit on this mission because I want the mine workers to be able to find employment quicker and more reliably. And I want as short a walk as possible for everyone to the storage yards and to the jewelers. Even though I'm not trying to break any records this mission and just want a more casual game, I did plan out these first two areas pretty carefully. That's one of the things about replaying Rostja is you always have an idea of something you'd like to have done a little bit better. I have a really fun and different idea about the plainstone mines this game. I hope you stick around and get to see what I thought up, see what I thunk. But I've got the feeder house down for this area. Let's complete the road that will give the top 5 gemstone mines access to employment. Of course, we don't want it to burn down or fall down. And we'll do a little bit of a block here and give it its essential services. This one will be more in the style of a small senator block. And we'll give it fire and police. And physician, and I will be populating it soon after the dock block, so I am going to give it water and taxes right off the bat. In my personal best game of 179 months, I did a little trick with the jewelers and the gemstone mines. I put gems onto stockpile and shut off the jewelers. First bunch of gems that come out of the mines are going to bypass the jewelers and go straight to the storage yard. So the first tall blessing that we're angling for is either going to fill up this yard with gems to give to the jewelers, or he's just going to fill up the jewelers. Either way, it's a huge financial windfall to the early game. So we've already got a feeder house for employment in the mining area. We're going to give a little bit of employment access to the docks and to our work camp loop and to the temple complex. And that's all the rest of our housing down. I am going to put down a couple more houses in the mining area just to bring us closer to 750 people. And we'll put hygiene on #1 focus. And we're finally going to go live. Welcome to Rostja, everybody. Hope you enjoy your stay and build a good pyramid fast. I don't expect you to do 179 months and meet my personal best, but I don't want you to embarrass me either. So the water carrier just evolved because of the aesthetics, and that's good because it gives 2 water carriers now instead of 1. That happens with Bazaar Ladies too. There, he just popped out, so we'll switch it off of hygiene focus and let employment go everywhere. Because he took off to the right, he might not make it all the way around the loop, but hopefully he will. We'll watch him for a little bit. Oh yeah, he didn't make it all the way around the corner, which would have been helpful. Hopefully the next guy will. Now I'm thinking I shouldn't have turned off hygiene focus. This might take a while to spawn another one. Oh no, there's one. And he's walking up, so he should make it all the way around the block. This will turn all these houses from crude huts to sturdy huts. That'll be a big boost in population because each house will hold 28 now instead of 20. I think we have enough workers now to switch the focus to production, so those gemstone mines will have full employment. Oh, we got our first shipment of limestone, so I guess I better put down a storage yard to get the limestone, pull it away from the docks. Now the last part of the machine is to make sure that we bring gems and jewelry from the mining area. Oh, we got our first festival. Let's throw one for Ra and get his festival train going. He's got some good trade ones that we want to get. The blessing we want from Ta, of course, is to fill up the jewelers or to fill up a gemstone warehouse. But Ra has some nice ones, like increasing trade with our neighbors and getting 50% price increase on our goods. So we want to keep both of them happy. And we want both of them to bless us a lot. We still need a lot of workers, so it's good we don't have the jewelers employed. The gemstone mines are of course fully employed, and it looks like they're just about to produce their first gems. And there they are. And because we've set it to stockpile, they're going to walk right past the jewelers and put all the gems into the warehouse. So now we're ready for either of Ta's blessings. Well, he is congenial, and we do have an Ankh already, so hopefully we get something soon. There's Ra's Festival. I think we'll throw another one for Ta and see if we can maybe speed this up. Not exactly sure. If you're watching this and you know how it works, please explain it to me in the comments. Here's another ship. We're going to get some more limestone. And we are in debt. It had to happen sooner or later. This is a Rostja game after all. Buy ship from Own. Own is owning us in trade. Hopefully when he comes back we'll have some gems to sell him and we'll start to get out of debt. Well, there's still only one Ankh, but he is moved up to sympathetic. We'll just sit here. Oh, never mind. We won't sit here. We got a blessing, and it's a good one. So we'll switch the gems off of stockpile and turn the jewelers on. Now those jewelers are full of gems, and we've got gems and hopefully jewelry to sell. Come back, Own. We've got a lot of gems to sell you now, and more coming. No jewelry, though. Oh, looks like a jewelry cart pusher has left the storage yard, so we'll have some jewelry here soon, but probably not soon enough to make a sale on this trip. Welcome back, Own. He still got 8 limestone to sell us, so we might not get out of debt on this round, but at least we're going to not be as bad in the hole. We should get another storage yard down for next year's deliveries. I don't want to put it down yet until I see how much we make. I'm curious. Oh, out of debt. Bye, Own. Next time you come, we should have some jewelry for you, too. Oh, there's a jewelry cart pusher. There's another one. And there's a lot of jewelry going to the storage yard now. So I think we're doing pretty good now in terms of early economy. We're back in debt, but here comes a ship. He doesn't have anything to sell us this time, but he is gonna buy. Buy, buy, buy. That's 1,300. Let's open up Biblos, because I bet you we're going to have enough to start selling to them. We're not going to get a Biblos ship this year, but next year we should be doing full sales to both of these cities. Well, we still need 42 workers. Oh, wow. A Biblos ship has come in. We're actually going to make some sales to Biblos. Gems and jewelry. What a excellent first year. We're going to put down some housing and try to get a lot more population in. Those should all go to 2x2 houses. And I'm going to do something a little tricky up here. I'm going to try to provide the employment for the plainstone mines with a little extension of the senator block here. And that house and these ones should give employment to the upper reach of the mines. Let's get a Ta festival going, because we still want more blessings. We're greedy for blessings. And this should be our first limestone this year from Own. Didn't go that far in debt, in spite of putting down all that housing. Here's some more sales. Yeah, I think the early game is going really well here. We'll do another storage yard for pulling. Maybe 2. And we'll get our roads connected up here and kind of finish this little area off. Gonna have room for 8 storage yards in one of these sections and 8 storage yards in the other little section. We'll get fire protection down. Oh. We'll get fire protection down. And put roadblocks in. Okay, we've got a storage yard blessing. That's awesome. What's not awesome is we are putting this roadblocks in the wrong places. There we go. There, we got 2 loops now. Let's speed this up. We should have the employment in this first stage of the monument is really slow. We've got a lot of site preparation to do, a lot of ditches to dig, a lot of backfill, all that stuff. We'll get another one to raw. And speaking of raw, we are way over 750 people. We're going to have to get some shrines down. That'll take us up to 1,500 people to keep them happy. We're about ready to work on the causeway, so I'll wake up the stonemason. Got a ship.
I wonder if the city has any sights I could see while they unload my ship.
We'll make some sails to Byblos, and the stonemasons are heading down to do the causeway. Well, that was a bountiful docking. We're almost at 2,000. So I think we're going to set up the stone now. We should have the people. We do have the money. Going to turn the industry off just so we can set things up without drawing employment to them. We'll turn them on when we're ready. So we'll get this storage yard down, and we'll get it to accept all plain stone. And that'll provide employment for that storage yard. And we have to make sure we give room for the cart pushers to get down there. We want a bridge that's going to be a little more logical. We want the altar of Ammon because that is going to greatly increase the production of these stone mines. Now what I was thinking is I'm going to get down 11 for the bottom section. So every 3 trips by one of these mines is going to fill up the storage yard, because the storage yard does 32 and 3 times 11 is 33. So just feels right. We'll make sure it doesn't burn down. And we'll make sure it doesn't fall down. Now we'll get that upper section done. We're going to do the same little trick with the storage yard to make the walker trip as short as possible, and put it on accept all as well. And we're going to do 11 mines up here too. Let's start here with the employment road. I don't think that we're going to get that storage yard employed with these little houses down here. That's really a long walk. So I am going to cheat here and do some housing for this area. So that's 11. Yeah, if you take a look at that road, it's just going to be way too long for employment guys to come walk down here. And if some of these mines walk the wrong direction to look for employment, they're not going to find it. So we'll get our services down. And we'll do that little cheater house up here near the top. We got to give them a position to keep them healthy, and that should be okay. I don't feel too bad about it. We're not feeding these guys either. We're going to hopefully get away without feeding people. So we're tearing up the ground. The causeway is done. We've got gems and jewelry in the yard, and here comes a ship. Who's it from? I guess it's from Own because we're getting stone. It's August, so we should be making full sales. We're still in quite a bit of debt from doing the stone mine area. Still got some jewelry sales that we can make to Byblos, so we might get out of debt. Here comes a Byblos.
I love the art of the deal. I can't wait to trade my supplies.
I can't wait for you either. There, he's taking some jewelry, and we're out of debt. And the monument's coming along okay. And we've got some blessings maybe on the way. So that's all set up. So that's the machinery of our city. Oh, that's a good one.
What a bountiful journey.
Trade even more. Might not kick in this year, but up until next October, we should be doing a lot of sales. Things are going really slow with the monument, so I'm going to put down a lot of work camps here. We have the employment. We seem to be doing okay money-wise now. So I'm going to get down some extra housing. I'm going to need to bring a lot more people in if I'm going to employ these quarries. Just try to get them down in a way that they make 2x2s, although it's not important, really. Our TA blessings aren't as important to us as they have been now that the economy's going, but we definitely want Raw happy. Raw will give us the most useful blessings. More trade, more prices from trade. So we're making a bit more progress on the monument now. Starting to get quite a bit of limestone in. Going to just empty this one out so I can bring in some wood. We'll stockpile gems. We'll bring in that wood. There's room for the wood now, and we can bring the limestone back in. I think I'm going to turn stone on. We've got a little bit of excess employment now. We can meet that request. And I guess I better get rid of that if people are going to get into the stone area. I kind of blocked it off with that housing. And I think I decided that I'm going to feed these people after all. And if I'm going to feed them, then I'm going to want to get a bazaar down. I'll hunt that game meat that's up above us. And even though the game lets you feed people out of storage yards, unless I have it as an import, I just don't like to do it. I guess it's back as a throwback to the old Pharaoh. So we'll accept game meat here. We'll get it into the granary. The Bazaar lady should select the granary over the storage yard just because it's closer. And we'll give a bridge to the ostriches across the river. Turn this into a loop. And I think I'll do 4. It might be overkill, but it'll at least get everybody initially fed quicker if we do more. We'll get some shrines down to Ra, just to make sure that he's happy with the increase in the population here. Now, why am I not having them employed? But it looks like I took the hit to the employment numbers. I need 269 workers. I'm just going to try a couple of things here. Just delete them and put them back and see if they get employment. Don't want to erase the gemstone mine though. Try again. Yeah, that gets them. We also got a trade route that we can do. And we'll get them back. They're looking for employment, but they're not finding it. This is buggy. I don't understand. But let's open up WeNet. So that'll be more limestone coming in. Let's see if this helps. So I took it off production. Oh, yeah, they did get employment there. That's a weird little bug. Okay, things are back on track. We should have plain stone for the monument around the time that the monument base is finished. Yeah, we're doing the final paving. I'm going to import meat for the lower houses here and give them a bazaar. And I don't mind feeding these guys out of a warehouse because it is an import. And that again is like a throwback to the old Pharaoh where he could only buy food out of a warehouse if it was an imported food. I'll be excited to see stone coming to the monument. It seems like it's been forever since I started work on this base. And let's get the storage yards down and start getting the plain stone from the quarry area. And we'll get the carpenter guilds down. We're going to need them for the scaffolding for the pyramid and the scaffolding for the Sphinx later. And when these guys are done, I'm going to erase most of these work camps and get down my stonemasons and the last little bit of my storage yards. Why am I not getting meat into the city? Oh, I forgot I disconnected this area. There we go. Always something dumb that you do in one of these games that you find out about later. We got a big gift. Okay, so goodbye to all the work camps. Hello to all the stonemasons. I think 6 and 6 should keep up with the plain stone, which is going to be the limiter. think I'm going to get the Sphinx down. Haven't really thought about it, but I guess here's a good spot. And then I guess I'll space this out and try to keep it close as well. I've done more attractive layouts in Rostja before, but I've reached the point where I've played this so many times it just doesn't bother me where I put them as long as it's semi-efficient. We've sort of reached that part of the game where everything is done and now it's just watching this giant arse monument start to grow. The economy is okay. We're almost out of debt again. Yeah, we're out of debt. So we've got the military component coming up pretty soon. We got to have a little bit of an army for an attack by some Libyans. I think it's Libyans. So we're going to be getting a copper gift after a request. That's when I usually start to put my military down. In fact, this might even be it. We'll stockpile the gems. We almost are caught up with workers. The feeding is going a little slow here. I'm going to switch the focus to the monuments. And start clearing the base for the small pyramid, medium pyramid. Okay, we've got the gems. Go off a stockpile again. And we'll finish up the storage area. Get the plain stone closer to the monument here. Get them all involved with bringing plain stone over. These guys are getting fed. I'm gonna cut down the amount of hunters there are because we've got a lot. Oh, I guess if I'm gonna get that copper, I should get a warehouse for it. So that costs me a little bit of time. We'll get the weaponsmiths working on it, so at least I have some weapons stockpiled. Slowly creeping along here. There. Now, I got the copper. 1,300 is not a lot. That's not even going to be a full company. And we'll watch the first course of this monument get finished. Only need 21 workers now. We've got room for people. Let's get Ra on our side a little bit here. See if we can get some good blessings. You must be really bored because I am getting bored. I'm gonna get some more people by giving them a temple. That'll take them up a notch. Gonna have to put my bazaar back down. Reputation. It's not the blessing I wanted, but it's probably the blessing I deserve. Now I feel bad about the junk housing I have up top. Here's a little bit of a better blessing. So we're going to be doing 2,500 out of Byblos instead of 1,500. And we're going to be doing 4,000 gems out of Own. So that's a pretty significant increase. And we've got a lot of it here in the warehouses. So hopefully we'll be getting out of debt. It's been a rough little while. Imports are costing more than exports, especially bringing in meat. That's a new one for Rostja for me. I don't usually import food for the dock housing block. There's some pretty significant sales, though. I think it might be a good year. Oh, look at that. We're over 1,000 now. 2,000. It's time to put the military down. Hope it's not too late. We'll go 1 infantry for it, because that's all the copper we have. I'm going to disconnect the small pyramid here as soon as the base is complete, because I don't want to send any stone there yet. I'd like the big pyramid to be mostly done so that we can finish them roughly at the same time. We have the money to put down archer forts. I think that should take care of the Libyans when they come. We also have to use the military in this game to relieve a siege. So the last little bit of work here with the backfill. Then I'll wait to see somebody come to dig the burial chamber, and that's when I'll disconnect it. So that is done. There should be a work camp worker that walks over as soon as he starts walking, and I know that he's going to the monument. I'll disconnect this little bit of road. He'll finish off the burial chamber. There he is. So he'll walk in there, dig the burial chamber, and that monument is just parked. We're going to start thinking about grave goods here. I need a lot of wood, but I'll deliver the gems and the jewelry. You see the parked median pyramid. So I want 12 granite. Yeah, we definitely are doing well on the reputation. There isn't a lot of requirements on this mission except for that and the monument. Oh, there's the Libyans, 10 months. We've got 7 of the infantry done. I think we'll be ready in time. So we're getting the wood. I think we're going to get all 1,800 here. Yep. So we'll deliver it to the monument and we'll switch it back down to 400. And I think I'm going to open the Sphinx up now. This Sphinx just requires scaffolding from the carpentry guilds. And stonemasons, I think that should be something that we can do alongside the main monument now. Might get a tall blessing soon. Oh, debt. Oh, the granite is coming. That's awesome. So that'll be the grave goods, I think, done, except for the beer that we'll get later. So, let's switch off the trading and deliver the granite. %, unemployment. I'm gonna switch it on to fast speed finally. I think we're good. Got the 6-month warning on the Libyans. And hopefully we're out of debt again. No, we're worse in debt. Why is there granite coming? I switched granite off. So I didn't. I'll switch it off now. I'm confused. But we'll export that. It looks like we can sell it back, so... But yeah, minus 2,000 plus in debt again, which isn't the greatest. Okay, the granite is going, and we're out of debt. Okay. Well, this is going well. Sphinx is looking like it's going pretty good. We got the monument growing. I'm glad we're on 5 times speed now. We won't have to wait that long for the Libyans to show up. So it's starting to get a little bit dull. Next month. Here we go. I think we can take them. Oh, we lost an infantry, so now we're down to 12. Since we're short of military in the infantry department, I think I'll put down 1 more archer fort. I've got to get ready to send those guys out to relieve the siege. Hopefully that happens soon. Running out of storage for limestone, so I'm going to put down an extra yard here. We're losing people. What the heck? Why aren't they getting fed? Oh, I know what happened. Remember back when I was rebuying granite? I bet you I shut meat off instead of granite on the first time that I tried to shut granite down. Oh, that's dumb. At least we only need 85 people. Well, here's some meat for them. We'll start to get that population back. Having a little bit of excess unemployment is good in Rostja. You tend to age out your population during the course of such a long mission, so you need to have either fresh blood come in like we accidentally did, or you need a lot of unemployment. I feel so dumb. I feel dumb a lot during this game. That's the way it goes. You You always make some little mistake somewhere along the line. It is fun watching the monument, but this is a long mission of monument watching. Hopefully I do a decent job editing out the boring stuff. We finally got the message about the siege in Dashur, so we're going to have to send everybody out. Our dozen falcons, the rams, the hyenas, and the leopards. Hey, we were victorious. We should get the message pretty quickly that Dashur is going to open up, and they're a source of beer for the grave goods. They also sell a little bit of limestone. They also sell a little bit of plain stone. And there they are. Our trade route to Dashur. We're going to open them up. They're a nice cheap land route. They buy a little bit of gems, so that'll be nice. We're going to import the 600 beer that we need for the grave goods. And we're going to import whatever we can get for plain stone. We're going to open up the median pyramid. We're going to shut off the imports of that beer. And we're going to give it to the monument. Gods are ready for the final resting place of mighty Pharaoh. Now we just need to finish the pyramids for him. And we'll start cleaning up some of the storage yards and try to time out our limestone imports so that we stop at about the right time. And we're polishing the big pyramid. We're going to get some more polishers down. And once the stone reaches the top here, we don't need the work camps anymore. Just make sure that we are polishing, and we are. So we'll get rid of them. And we don't need any more storage or carpenters. Deliver that, although it doesn't really matter anymore. We'll just put down a bunch of stone masons. Probably isn't going to make a difference. Just about finished polishing the median pyramid. We could have maybe timed that better and got more stone to the big monument so they roughly finish at the same time. But I'm not going for a speed run here, so I don't really worry about too much the timing. And we'll just watch the fun here at the end of the mission. I think we did it in pretty decent time. I'm curious to see how we did. My previous best is 179 months. You can find that video. Different layout than here. What?
In Egypt, bow to your accomplishments. You have built Khufu's
You could probably guess why I'm laughing.
greatest of burial provisions and done great honor to
We finished this one in 179 months too, and I wasn't even trying. I guess maybe I should revisit this again and see if I can beat my record, because I think that new plainstone layout worked pretty good. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.